My journey to the ultimate wonder was a true travel through space and time. It began when I was a little girl living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My sisters and I had an attic bedroom, and one day I was up there alone and walked to the window and looked down to the street below and thought, what would happen if I were to jump off of the roof? Would I be splattered like the roaches Daddy stepped on? Or would I fly off free and happy as a bird? Although death was largely absent as I grew up, that thought remained with me. Then, when I was in seventh grade, my best friend Janice died. She was a bright, shy, kind, seriously religious girl, and her influence led me to enroll in a convent program she was going to begin. So I started high school as a candidate for the Resurrection Order in Chicago, Illinois. And I wondered, why did young men have to die in Vietnam? I wrote a general, but his answer did not help me to understand how war could be a means to peace. A few years later, as a freshman in college in Columbia, Missouri, I was doing a research paper on revolution and interviewed a young man in Chicago, Illinois. 2 weeks later, he was murdered in his bed. The Fred Hampton I interviewed was not a violent threat to society. Then another few years passed. In my 20s, I was living in Washington, D.C., and cried as I watched on live TV prisoners in Attica shot down like so many animals. But it was not until my mother's death that I experienced the profound mystical quality of death. I had not seen Mama for 3 years, and when I first heard that she was gone, I said, I'm not going to the funeral. But she appeared to me as a comforting light in meditation. I attended the funeral, and it was a joyous celebration of her life. A few years later, in Denver, Colorado, I was hired as the volunteer coordinator for a new hospice. Then I learned that death can be a peaceful and enlightening experience, truly the ultimate wonder.